Okay, we've got a 2014 Chevy Cruze with the diesel engine, and we're going to look at installing an alternate fuel filter for 3 reasons. First of which being the location here you're seeing behind the engine, in between the engine and the firewall, is much easier to get to than the factory element, which is under the car. Chevy recommends that it's replaced every 30,000 miles or 2 years, whichever comes first. This location is easier to get to. It will last twice as long as the factory filter, and it also costs less. So 3 very good reasons for switching to this filter instead. The only disadvantage is we're using a fuel filter instead of a fuel water separator. So what I did was I took out the element from the housing under the car, and so the housing is still there. It's still doing its job as a fuel water separator. So you might want to occasionally drain that fuel water separator, depending on the quality of fuel that you're getting, possibly every year. And with this filter, it is strictly just a fuel filter, so no need to drain. I actually did try installing a fuel water separator here, which did not work well, and I think that's because of the location. It is above the exhaust pipe, and I think it gets too hot in that location, and it was leaking where the bowl meets the element. So I've changed to this instead. It is a Fleetguard 5458 filter element, available at all Cummins locations nationwide. And want to give a quick shout out to Dave King at Cummins Filtration for helping me with this filter. Let's take a closer look at the fuel hose connections. You can see the inlet and outlet are clearly defined on the filter head, and this is your fuel supply hose, and it comes from down here. So that's your fuel supply connection from the tank on the left. That is return on the right. And so here is the supply connection coming from the tank, going into your inlet, coming out of the filter. This is your inlet connection to the engine, and then out of the engine is this connection, and that's where it goes back down there to the fuel tank. So this hose, the yellow tag on it, is the factory hose, and I replaced the factory supply line with this hose and this hose that you see here. Like I said before, I did try using a fuel water separator first. That was a Raycor R90 series fuel water separator. So this is the head from that, and I replaced the element with that fuel filter head and filter assembly with this filter instead. Car's been running fine ever since. It's working great. Once again, I want to thank Cummins for helping me with this, and I highly recommend this FF5458 element for your Chevy Cruze with the diesel engine.